Welcome back. I'm Michael Bull, and this is the Commercial Real Estate Show. Remember, we do appreciate hearing from you, so reach out to us through commercialrealestateshow.com. You'll find all our social media accounts and contact information. Well, today we're talking about foreign investment into U.S. commercial real estate. Next, we have Skyping with us from Israel, Aryeh Kieffer. He is a principal with Addison Advisors, and they invest in U.S. real estate with money from Israel. And Aryeh, we appreciate you joining us today. How are you doing?
Very good. Thank you for having me.
It was good to see you there on Skype.
You as well. It's amazing how close the world can be.
That's right. Well, I had to ask you first, as a foreign investor and bringing money into the U.S., why? Why are foreign investors so interested in the U.S.? It seems like it's even picked up more recently.
Absolutely. I think there's two parts to that. The first is that, in general, when the economic world has collapsed, you can see countries around the world trying to figure out how to get out of it. And no matter how bad things have gotten in the U.S., there's a general attitude around the world that the U.S. isn't going anywhere. It's an economy that is arguably the largest, or at least the strongest, in the world, and the underlying fundamentals, which apply to all business across the world, the United States is still a place that's considered strong and stable to a certain degree. The second reason is, when you have a place that's considered so strong across the world, and then you have a short-term collapse, it's kind of like buying retail at a discount. And every foreign investor looks at their own local market and sees, oh, something I can get the same thing for half the price. Nobody wants to pay full retail if they can get it for a discount, and that's how the U.S. is viewed. So you combine something that's viewed as strong and stable, and at the same time at a discount, that's a great idea.
That's a good point. So they realize it's a safe country. We have we have no political unrest. We have a fairly stable environment, and yeah, like you said, we have a market where real estate did collapse and pretty much collapsed all around the world. And U.S. was hit pretty hard, and now so I guess what you're saying is Israeli investors are looking at the U.S. and saying, hey, it's probably going to improve, and buying now, right?
Absolutely. At the same time, Israeli real estate is incredibly strong and incredibly stable. Every year, the Urban Land Institute does a conference here in Israel geared towards Israeli investors. And each year when they come to Tel Aviv to have this conference, they talk about how Israel is ranked either number 2 or 3 in terms of the strength of and stability of a commercial real estate market. And a lot of that has to do with supply and demand. The country itself is tiny. And when you divide it even smaller to what political forces allow in terms of development, you have a very small amount of area to build upon and a huge demand for that land. Yeah. So it's an incredibly stable real estate market, which at the same time you have stability, it also means pricing can get out of hand. And you compare that with American real estate, and it seems like a great investment opportunity.
Right. And let me ask you, as an investor, as a principal, bringing funds into the U.S. and investing here, what are some tips you would provide for other investors bringing money into the U.S.?
First and foremost, the most important thing any investor needs to know, foreign especially, is that the person or company that is ultimately handling your investment must absolutely be someone that you trust. There are countless companies around the world that are raising funds, in particular foreign funds, to bring into the U.S., and there are lots of games that can be played. The most important thing, more than anything else, is that the person or company running the show is someone that you trust.
Yeah, and that's a very good point. You've got to have a good team in the U.S. to help you not only to find the properties, but handle the legal aspects, handle the management, handle the leasing, handle all the aspects, including the financing, right?
Absolutely, and even to the smallest details. I have conversations all the time with investors when it comes to the smallest detail of how long does it take to complete eviction, which again, you could have a difference between just DeKalb County and Fulton County in Atlanta, and you have a huge difference from Georgia to New York. All of those things are very localized and specialized information. And if you're 6 or 7 or 8 or 10,000 miles across the world, there's no way that you can have a handle on that in every single submarket.
Right. And we're short on the break here, but what about having a U.S. partner or not having a U.S. partner?
You absolutely must have one. There's no way to run a business without having, boots on the ground.
All right. So you need it is it important for financing as well?
Absolutely. For management, for financing, basically anything that you would require if you were going to invest your own money in any sort of business. You want to have somebody that you can trust, and those same requirements are the same requirements that a lender would have, that a vendor would have, that a supplier would have. Across the board, everybody wants to know that there's someone local, someone with a presence, and someone that's trustworthy, that's handling all of the business.
Well said. All right, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it. I will have more on foreign investment and U.S. real estate. I'm Michael Bull. We'll be right back. The Commercial Real Estate Show is brought to you by Florida International University and Bull Realty Commercial Brokerage, a great place to do business. For more information on these companies or to access additional podcasts, videos, or blogs, visit commercialrealestateshow.com.